Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, July 1st. We're beginning the second half of 2019 as we all look forward to the Independence Day holiday weekend. Welcome to Chatting with Agnes and Cecilia. Today's topic, follow through, the toughest part of planning. Chatting with Agnes and Cecilia is brought to you by Rogue Tulips, LLC. We provide 501c consulting and association management services. Check us out at our website, roguetulips.com. We are also a proud supporter of the 501c League, which is a virtual membership organization for all 501c professionals. Check out the league at the 501cleague.net. And there we go. We had one of those funny little technical difficulties. I couldn't get the screen to go back. Anyway, hi, Agnes. Welcome. Would you like to say hello and introduce yourself?
Thanks, Cecilia. Good morning, everyone. I'm Agnes Amos Coleman. I'm a consultant with Rogue Tulip, and I'm also an author. Over to you, Cecilia.
Thanks, Agnes. And hi, everyone. I am Cecilia Sepp, and I am the principal and founder of Rogue Tulips. And we are a virtual consulting company, and Agnes and I are the core consultants there. And we really enjoy working together and doing this show together. So today I thought, it being July 1st, and it's, as I mentioned, the second half of the year already, we kind of take a step back and say, well, what are we going to do now? How are we going to follow through on things? And I started to think about it, and I'm like, we all have ideas, we all have plans. And probably the toughest part of planning is the follow through. I know over the years as a consultant, working with people with strategic plans, they put a lot of time and effort into the strategic plan and they get really excited about it. And then it comes to the implementation of the plan. And sometimes that can be an issue because then we go back to work. You know, we've been off in this great planning area, planning bubble, and then we go back to work and then we have to deal with all the daily stuff and we can sometimes lose our focus on implementing the plan. So I don't know, what do you think about that, Agnes? What's your experience?
I think everything you've said makes a lot of sense. And I really do think that, follow through is very important and necessary, actually. Not only necessary, but also to help us demonstrate and measure customer service and quality standards across the board, particularly in 501c space that we play in, or any other organizations, or even as individuals. And I'm of an opinion that it takes a kind of a two-pronged approach. You can look at it as an internal focus and an external focus. So when you really look at, follow through from an internal perspective, it could look like, process improvement. We're following through because we want to improve our process, or it could look like, we're doing our due diligence, and it could also be a form of accountability. And when you look at the external side of things, it could be providing that accountability to your stakeholders, maybe your members, your internal and external stakeholders, your board members. It could look like transparency, you're being transparent to your stakeholder, and it could look like continuity for the business. So those are the kind of areas that for me, I see follow through as very crucial to all part of planning and processes.
Yes, I agree, because it's sort of like when you're in a meeting and you volunteer to do something. And then you can't just volunteer to do it, you actually have to do it. And that's where the follow through comes in. And some of it's self-discipline from a personal level. I mean, I love it that you framed it as internal and external follow through. And then there's also the individual follow through. And some of those characteristics that you might need for that are self-discipline, a willingness to do it, the ability to make things happen, not just come up with ideas. I mean, I come up with a lot of ideas. I mean, Rogue Tulips was an idea, the 501c League was an idea, and they actually, implemented them and made them come to life. And you've done that as well with your books, especially transforming business. I say it wrong every time. Transforming business with godly governance. That was a great idea. I mean, that book came out of like a lot of conversations you and I had about the workplace. And so you also have taken an idea and made it come to life and implemented it. And so some of the other things that it takes is actually scheduling it.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, I'll use fitness as an example because it's something you and I have both been talking about after we were traveling a lot recently. um, and realized, well, maybe we're not doing our great fitness habits we used to do, like walking, and maybe we're, with friends and family, or, and eating a little bit too much of something.
That's right.
And I know, like, for my birthday, here's a funny example. For my birthday, so a birthday cake this year, I bought vegan cupcakes,
Uh-huh.
which are delicious, by the way. They were fantastic. But I bought like 16 of them because I bought like 4 boxes of 4 different flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And so the next thing I know, I have 16 cupcakes, and there's only 2 people in the house. And so what am I going to do with 16 vegan cupcakes? So, um, so I ate most of them. I'll admit, I made a commitment to eat a cupcake every day till they were gone. So that was my plan, and then I followed it through. So, but kind of getting back to that, and then you kind of realize, well, we can't eat vegan cupcakes every day.
Yeah.
So then you kind of get back to your regular plan. So it's like with fitness. One of the things people like to suggest, like fitness trainers and people like that, are, schedule your exercise, write it on your calendar, make an appointment
Mm-hmm.
with yourself. And I kind of like that, follow through, whether it's internal or external within your organization. It always
Mm-hmm.
starts with you. It starts with
Mm-hmm.
yourself as a professional. What is my follow through going to be? Am I
Mm-hmm.
going to, like, with the certified association executive designation, people talk about getting it, but what is your follow through?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to take that course, find a study buddy, fill out the application, sign up, make sure you have the 100 hours to take the exam? So there's a lot of things that go into follow through, and I've always found that that is the most difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, as you know, Agnes, because we've talked about it a lot, I've been saying for years, and pretty much anybody who knows me at all, I've been saying for years I'm going to write a book. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but have I ever actually written the book? No. Why? Because I have too many ideas, haven't picked one, haven't sat down and said, this is my plan for writing the book. See, this is what Agnes does so well. And I think, Agnes, as a published author, you probably have some good follow through tips that you use. So, like, what are some of the things you do to make sure you actually get your books written?
I think you've already mentioned one of them. It's really discipline. You touched on that, and as you were talking about the word discipline, it resonated with me because in anything in life, you have to stay disciplined and determined. And not only determined, but you have to keep the focus. So when you're disciplined and you're not focused, then there's got to be a balance. So those two areas are some of the areas that I try to keep at the top of mind, particularly when I have a project that I want to accomplish, either writing a book or mentoring someone, or even just doing things in my community. It's really focusing on that ability to be disciplined and to be focused on what I really want to do. So for anybody that's really looking at what are some of the areas that I need to work on for follow through, I would say be disciplined, be focused, and find an accountability partner. I think that
Like
that's so
that.
important.
Mm-hmm.
You and I kind of provide that for each other. It doesn't have to be formal, but it could be something that you just share with your colleague or your peer or even a friend, and just say, I just need an accountability partner. I don't want it to be a formal process. It could just be something like checking in once in a while. How are you doing with that project? What's your thought on that? And I think it's a good way to stay focused and to really help you have that follow through, whether in your personal life or in your business life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are great points. So, focus, discipline, accountability. I love the idea of accountability partner, because we all have to hold ourselves accountable, but knowing we have to tell someone else that we're doing it, I think is a great idea. I love that idea because and also so far we've touched on the fact that follow through starts with a person, with the
Mm-hmm.
individual, and then starts internally in the organization and then externally in the organization, because any organization wants to keep its promises. And that's basically what
Absolutely.
follow through on your plan is. You're keeping a promise to yourself or your colleagues or to the community around you. And so I think that's really a very important thing. One of the things that I also think is important about plans is really incorporating them into your day,
Mm-hmm.
incorporating them into your mindset. So, for example, uh, when I was CEO at ACHCA and we had the strategic plan, I put in a real effort. And you probably remember when we had our strategic planning retreat for the staff, so the staff could learn about the plan. And what was really important to me was everybody knowing the plan and putting it into their daily thought process. And I think if you want a really strong, successful strategic plan, that's the kind of thing that you follow through on. And I've worked with a lot of different people over the years on strategy development. And I think, again, not making it that mindset and looking back at it and saying, I'm making a decision, where does it fit in the strategic plan? Where does it support the plan? And this is any plan, okay? This is the plan of your day, which we all do. So that would be like our calendar. So our plan for the day is, we have these many appointments, we have to be ready for these meetings, we have deadlines we have to make. And so that's your plan, and you're thinking about that every day. So I think if you take that kind of daily mindset and expand it, then you have, I think, that mindset of follow through, and making things happen. And it's like, we kind of have a joke in our house, like, I'll say, oh, I feel a list coming on, and my husband will be like, oh no, look out everyone, because she's going to be doing a list. But list manage, I think list, and I don't know if you use a lot of list, Agnes, but I find using list really helps me stay focused. I mean, what do you think? Do you do that?
Agreed. I think that's definitely a tool to use. There's all kinds of technology out there, even with your cell phones, that you could record for yourself to remind you that this is what you need to do so you stay focused for the day. Or you could put on your cell phone a calendar appointment, letting you know that 10 minutes before the time, you need a ding bell to tell you what to do. And let's take this a step back for a minute, because you and I as consultants know that delivering for our members, it's key part of what we do, or not only our members but our clients. Think about it as a 501c organization. If you have a good follow through to your membership, the value that you are creating in the minds of your members, because your members begin to have to see you as an organization that's very accountable, that's really about members, and that really, really values the input and the deliverables of their membership. So if you reach out to your members and say, I'm following up on a certain issue that you had, and I just want to make sure that you were satisfied with the outcome, or how can we do better? I think from a member perspective, that's really speaking volume. We play in the association space, so I think this is very important for us to highlight as we wrap up this segment of follow through, Cecilia.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Agnes, because it's also demonstrating commitment
Mm-hmm.
to your members. And as consultants, it's commitment to your clients, because you're saying, this is important to me, it's important to you, and so it's important to me to make sure you get what you need when you need it, which is also the definition of relevance. So if you want to remain relevant, follow through on things. Don't tell people you're going to do something and then not do it. And that's not the same thing as like not being able to do it when you wanted to do it, where you go back to the person, well, I can't get it done this day, but I can do it, 2 days later. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But I think, yes, as consultants, helping clients develop that mindset, helping them develop the follow through, helping them really make it a part of their daily life. It's something that we can do. It's something we do personally and professionally, and it's something we could definitely help clients with. And then by helping our clients, we're helping 501c organizations, whether you're an association, you're a foundation, or a charity. Follow through is like where it's at, to use like an old 70s thing. And that's something that's always been really important to me personally and professionally. Say what you mean what you say. And if you say you're going to do something, then do it. Because what do you have other than that, if you don't have your actions? So that's any closing thoughts on follow through before we wrap it up for the day?
I think we've pretty much talked about it and covered it. And one of the things that we could probably add to it is, we're also available for coaching. There are individuals that don't necessarily feel comfortable within their organization to reach out to other people for accountability. We can definitely provide, opportunity for coaching in that space to help you as an organization, as an individual within an organization, if you're really looking at ways and approach to really work on follow through. So give us a call, let us know, and over to you, Cecilia.
Great. Well, thank you, Agnes. That's a great thing to close on. Yes, we are very experienced in that. I really now, of course, I guess what is this caveat? We are not certified life coaches, nor are we certified executive coaches, but we are happy to be your accountability coach or your accountability partner, and that's definitely something we could do for people in our profession and for our clients. So that's great. So follow through. It takes discipline, commitment, and it sends a great message to not just yourself, but to people that you are with every day. So make sure you do your follow through, folks, and make your plan part of your mindset. So that's it for this Monday. We'll see you next Monday with another new topic. Thanks, Agnes.
Thank you. Bye.